Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Hang on. Jump, auto! Oh my days! They both got the kill. I think Rise just about got... Yeah, you are a dead man. Level 6 for Hoya. Oh, this is just not going to be playable. There's the barrier early. Tries to buy some time. There's no room to flash. Dies a horrible death. Bejuan gets out. Nice dive from ThunderTalk Gaming. And thus horrors were wrought, not in the mid lane. No spoilers from LCK, please watch later, spoiler free. That's super fair forfeit. The reason I'm not saying anything. But yeah, if we can, try not to spoil other leagues in here, because obviously other people are making some choices. So, setup. Gets a fair amount of time here on these turrets. Bejuan's back towards these grubs. Dragon's up, so I'm assuming we'll see Shadow. And we do on the other dragon. Alright, set up, in danger, gets jumped on. That's going to be a fair amount of damage back. He gets the phase rush away, but to what end? Bejuan here, but a little late. The teleport's not going to fly on through. Feather. Lots of plates down. They got 6 grubs now as well. I think start claiming a few of these last plates in the last 40 seconds, though. Could be pretty scary. How much damage is Sheer doing on the other side? Flash for the charm. Feather now in danger. Bejuan jumps on the other side. The bullet time is absolutely mental, but Assume gets the kill regardless. Looking for the Realm Warp angle as Shadow has to back away on the other side. They pick up the Kaiser. Dwayne now in danger. Also falls. Sheer going to try and race for that turret. Can they get a wind becomes lightning as the might spawn? Buy themselves some time. That's going to leave Shadow after I TP out from Care. Means they're going to try and rush for some mid lane damage, and I think Shid should still get this turret bot side, and they do. That's first turret then for FPX. Damage still onto Shadow, who will surely fall. Gets himself a bit of a blast shield. They're still going to trade out as 1XM picks that kill up. Nicely done for ThunderTalk Gaming, who get the turret as well. Very scary. Feather couldn't quite find the angle. Hexgate behind. No, sides against it. Hoya now barrel rolls a barrel into the little choke point. Little dink onto Sheer. Herald being considered. Dwayne steps on forward, still has the ultimate to work with and pulverizes, but to what end? He's now in danger as the ult's about to time out. Will headbutt Feather away, but I don't think he can get out. Shadow trying to get into the pit to steal it, can't do, maybe forced to flash on out himself. It's in a 1v1 with Bejuan on the other side. The Rune Prison alongside that bullet time did so much work. Shadow caught in the pit, will go down, and ThunderTalk are walking all over FPX. Nice. And it is a Hex Soul, and we've seen in this meta, Drakes tend to trump grubs. However, TT have used it already well with the Herald. They've already got... Still has 1 charge left, but that means this turret is falling. There's no way around it with 6 grubs as well. It be done. How far do they want to push this? And do they want to send someone to stop Sheer? Care has no ult, so his actual threat here is relatively limited. And he's gone for the rower build, so his damage at this point, not fantastic. He's at least finished the rower in terms of its stacking. Shadow onto one side, TP in. In they go. Into goes Assume as well. 1xN in danger. Fantastic pulverized. Holy moly, Dway. That was wicked. Setup's going to have to run away. Oh, another pulverized. Dway. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Dway, take your hat off. FPX have to come into you. And yes, Alistair can do that. But I think it's less fun. Yeah, but these points are moot. They've got Bomber. That's fair. Hang on, we both pay attention to this dragon fight. Alright. Kevin looking for an ult, didn't find it. Actually, this ult needs to get used soon, or it's going to be a bit problematic. Ari, can you find an angle? Dragon down to half. To be soul point for FPX. Can Beitron get in? We'll look for the angle. Doesn't secure it. Smite by Shadow. Good work. Charm onto the backside. If they're going to get some damage on his way, he will surely fall. Does so. Flash Wind becomes lightning. Bullet time isn't fantastic. And that gives some space for Shadow to go forward. They got Rune Prison as he went looking for the QSU to the backside. He gets knocked up. And that is the problem for FPX. Nowhere to roam. As in comes the Realm Warp. A triple kill for 1XN. Access denied. FPX, every diver gets stuffed individually. Shadow was already caught though, so I think he was saying, look, I just have to go into the backside and try and set up for Assume because I'm dead anyway, because he got caught by the spell flux and the Rune Prison was coming. So I think that's probably his thought process. Mitch is not necessarily always enough to deal with the Rise if he's got phase rush and stuff. You kind of start missing some skill shots. You've got quite a short range comp on the Rise. You start brawling a lot. Holy moly. Shadow, how did you get caught out? That's another holy moly for the counter. And that's surely Baron. That's a smite down. Oh no. How did he get there? What? Oops. No, in and of yourself. Now with Roa, Seraphs, and Zhonya's, who is killing this Rise in a decent timer? Like, it's going to be very tricky. There's that turret that caused them so much strife earlier gone. Okay, engage. FPX into the backside. Assume is down. There's a big Rune Prison onto Sheer. My days. Rune Prisons again. Every time. Double body slam means there's more going down. You finally get the Gragas, but at what cost? It's a triple to Beitron. They were looking for the engage. I don't blame them. Trying to break this shot, but that might actually just be game. Care has to find value here. Or with the mites, they've got 6 grubs. I think ThunderTalk could just walk this in. Oof. They can't quite end the game, or they decide not to. They're going to Hexgate out with a... Setup, gonna get a TP coming on in, but there's a Zhonya's, and that's now forcing FPX to back away. They've teleported themselves, and I don't think Sheer wants to be there! And Realm Warp afterwards, they can keep chasing. They send the Nautilus forward. Beitron, I apologize, who's now really deep himself, throws out the Crescent Guard, buying a lot of time. Feather, with that Riptide, slows everyone down. Now Dway's in danger, knocked up. Will try and buy some time with the Unbreakable Will, but much like Future Armor, they can indeed break the spirit. On towards our inhibitor turrets, and the inhibitors we go. Carrot Assume must try and wave clear here, but with what? With what? Waves come crashing on him. Final inhibitor turret dropped. Final Nexus turret dropped. Rune Prison into bullet time meter soon drops too, and the Nexus soon after. ThunderTalk Gaming, crisp team fighting. There isn't. Your Yoni and Ken are going to have to really throw their bodies into the grinder, and that can be risky versus Ascana and Leona. Nothing super scary at the level 1 here. Shadow clearing towards his top side, been a very standard clear. Beitron doing the same. Hey, Harold with nearly 2 years. Thanks for the sub. Feather actually now in danger. Oh my days, how did he take so much damage? Zorz now comes on down to Asumu. Cleanses very early. Flash for the daybreak. Can't quite find it. Looking for the storm. Still finds it. Damage onto Asumu is huge. FPX lose their AD carry and 1xN gets out to safety. Nice 2v2. And that's after Feather took all the damage to begin with. He still had... And on to the grubs we go. FPX will pick those up. We'll trade up the grub, even up the grub mark. TT going to come fight this. 1xN in a position, potentially a position to do so. So TT here in force, but so are FPX. Looking for an angle. Glacial Prison lands onto Feather. Then the Magnus Storm. Gorgeous from FunPlus Phoenix. They turn around decently, though, with the Impale, but it's just not enough. The damage isn't there. Care's still alive. Shadow flashing out to safety. Aurora gets one, but a knock-up from Care in the back of the pit means Hoya's down as well. 3 dead for ThunderTalk. Nearly 4. They get 2 back in trade at the very least. Wait, hang on, Setup just hops on in as the bunny. He's got a Quadra. Wait. Can he pick up a Zoom as well? Surely not. The other minute Penta. Can't quite do it. Setup, where did he come from? And you're thinking, that's still a 3v1. But then he just gets a Q into the E, and those health bars are too low. They're tanking the grubs as well, which could be quite obnoxious at this point of the game. That is now 8 stacks on the Dark Seal. This bunny is off to the races. Exhausted. ThunderTalk find themselves in a fantastic position now this game. This bunny rabbit could be really problematic. Can't quite get the passive proc on top of everything else. In comes the Between Worlds. Setup hit with the Fate Sealed. Huge shutdown, crash down after. Feather's coming over, but to what end? The Impale is there. They'll Gander Zenith Blade, but to what end, actually? Because they've already got the Impale. It's not really layering up that CC very well. Assume now here. Hoya also around. But 1xN isn't. The damage is gone. They lose 2. FPX now corralling people under this tier 1. 1xN looking to come over and play this. You've got no TPs to come and get involved. There's the Curtain Call. They're going to try and all in regardless as the Fate Seals is used. Not the Fate Seal. The Curtain Call comes on down. Slicing Maelstrom is there. And the damage is too much for ThunderTalk to deal with. ThunderTalk by name, but unfortunately, Slicing Maelstrom's a little bit too much of their namesake to handle. Massive win for FPX. How on earth does Setup get caught? It's a control of their own, but you can see they're pinging on that control wall. They can definitely go for a deep flank here if they want it. Care's debating it. Step will TP in just to the mid lane. Setup gets a decent chunk of his way over the wall. That means the Rel down at half HP to begin with. This Bunny Rabbit could be a threat, but the last player in this space was Scary. Feather doesn't quite have the permafrost locked on. Setup still off vision, still Scary goes across the veil. Chunk again onto Dway, who has to crash down away from danger. The shield will time out. You imagine. Deadly Flourish comes across. And Herald now in danger. Hoya looking for an angle. They get the Glacial Prison though. Driven onto the wall. Into a big ult. Onto the Yone means they die. The Slicing Maelstrom is decent. The Setup tries to escape but can't quite do so. Across the veil, not enough. Sheer flashes to secure it. But they're now split up. What can this cannon with no ultimate do? Knocked into the wall. Base 1 still tanky. 1xN beginning to unload. Shadow in danger. Trying to get some damage back. Base 1 survives. Definitely Flourish just shy. Gets a Bastion shield. Now she is in danger. Lightning rushing back in. 1xN flash into the pit. But will be force-shotted with the flash by the Jhin. Now the Hoya trying to get some damage down. Will Drakehound step with the Repudiation. Deadly Flourish goes wide. No bullets available for Assume means that with a cunning swipe, Jhin falls. Ends up being an extended 5 flashes of Kennen and Sejuani, and that flank is swiftly pounced on. But killing off the Aurora is all well and good, but she's already used her ultimate. You're already going to lose quite a lot of damage. Base 1 surviving here is big. Sheer's going to die. We'll get a decent amount of damage back, and then 1xN flashes away as the 4-shot was available. And Assume will flash to secure the kill. The problem is he's then 2 already claimed for FPX. It's worth noting. But a second dragon was secured by ThunderTalk. That'll help even up the gold somewhat. It does so. Setup is really deep here. He needs to go across the veil. He doesn't have flash. Between worlds we go. But he's still going to get slowed. There'll be a Glacial Prison. I think Setup's just dead here. Weirding his time, but there's just nowhere to go. He Between Worlds too early. He tries to breed it, but Shadow just goes, cool. I'm not going to throw anything until you Between Worlds, and dies for it. There's nothing traded. That was Mid lane tier 1 now under siege. All of the captive audiences proc at once. That was kind of synchronized. Jim will appreciate the pyrotechnics. Turn around between worlds, not going to work. A setup hit before he could escape. Slicing Maelstrom after. Yes, you got the impale, but you still lose both your mid and your jungle. 1xN now in danger. Permafrost flash for the auto. And FPX punish in a matter of moments. Assume gets a double. And that turret falls short, but FPX are swift on the punish. 4 dead. And this mid lane tier 1 will surely be the next trade as the Herald comes on in. TT over push and get absolutely wrecked. Shadow, what an ult. And that will surely be Atakan afterwards as well. Suddenly the gold lead is 3k. And the dragon fight coming with Atakan withdrawals available. Hoya misses an ult. That's unfortunate. Dway should be fine here. Did TT really want to play this into withdrawals? Are you sure, guys? Beitwan, that's very deep. Gets an impale to not really much end. The Slice Motion comes on down. They'll get the withdrawal out. Very least between worlds they go. Decent chunk back on the drain. Actually, they have made this one work okay. Problem is Beitwan is dead, whereas the others are just withdrawals. They'll be able to come back over the match. Shadow trading on out. The Crescent Guard. Curtain Call comes on through. Different C ability. Newlands are losing your jungler for 2 withdrawals. Hoya will get the tier 1 top in trade for that. Shear's turned up, but here come the rest of TT. Shear, I don't think you can be there, friends. Flash away, flash forward for the Shield of Daybreak, he's dead. And a reset comes on through. Setup secures it with the passive. Tier 1 goes down. Tier 2 in mid lane shove onto the tier 2 in bot side, so yes, he killed off the cannon. But FPX still going to trade up here with a tier 2 bot side. Cleanse, hang on. They got him behind the flash. Nicely done. Hoya, what an engage. That's huge. Can they barret off that? They're going to try. Oh, ThunderTalk. Think they found the moment they were looking for. Could prove problematic. Care looking to stack up on that side with the Q3, goes across the veil, does set up, avoids the angle, but the damage is still good. They get Kennen though in trade. Care now in danger, hops back in, tries to get a Q3, flashes out to safety, massive magnet storm, Shadow into the backside, the damage so desperately much, as they are doing as much as they can. Hoya though, with all of the Omnivamp, will begin to heal his way on through. Drake count step to the beat. Can they get towards Shadow? They couldn't do the Baron. Trying to get a slow with the upheaval. Dragon coming up in 5 seconds. Respawns coming on. Resets coming on through. Can we interrupt the Skarner back? Hang on. This could be really significant. Going to interrupt it. And Jin's now going to come on up. Can maybe make this a bit more of an ugly fight. Deadly Flourish just out of range. But it means Beitwan's not been able to reset. Sheer and Dway on a good flank angle. 1xN in serious danger here. Needs to not stand there. Here we go. Dway looking for that Magnustorm angle. Feather. Body blocks now. Sheer still not found that way in. Now they're looking to get damage onto the pit. 3k HP. Hoya can get in there. Beitwan's also in. Impale in the pit. Means damage as they keep on going down. Taken by the side of Shadow and FPX. The trade back is huge as FPX unleash all of their ultimates. Hoya trying to Drake out step his way, but gets permafrosted. Shoot shields with a repudiation. Gets a double of his own. Setup gets more. They kill off 3. Hoya. What insane work at the back end of it all. But Shadow and Care survive. They need to TP in. I wonder whether you could have allowed that one to complete. Still comes on through. Hoya needs to back away. Shadow now here with the side of that Yone. Trying to get the shutdown. Does so. Big kill. Remove 3 Barons. Can make it a 3 for 3 in the... Beitwan behind, though. Can look for an angle. It's going to be a known quantity. They've got decent wards here. Trying to hold on with this Baron on 2 members. Can they find a decent angle? Not really as yet. And actually pulling back onto Shadow, onto Dway, who's now in danger. Magna storms himself. To what end? He's dead between worlds now. Comes on through. Hoya with the perfect execution. Sheer tries to turn it around and will at least get something. Fate sealed is brutal, but they can't quite get as many kills as they're hoping. Jin, though, unleashing at the back end of it. All the curtains are called. They've got Baron. Can they get the whole damn squad? Not quite. Beitwan survives. Deadly Flourish. Not going to get enough onto Beitwan, but that does mean another 3 for 4 this time. And the damage of Baron means I think they could shove for at least an inhibitor here. With 30 seconds on setup, can they try to end the game? they can look for quite a lot here. Baseone's going to be very tanky. I think the wiser course of action on the Jhin gets to absolutely unload. Curtain call after me, they can keep chasing. Back towards the pit we go. Live is Sheer once again with a slicing maelstrom. But this time Hoya not really touched. Gets knocked up by the 3-part mortal steel. Perfect execution. Shy. Assume low this time. Setup can kill him. Jin's finally taken care of. On the other side, the fight's going FPX's way. Setup across the veil. Being run at. Waiting for the slow. Sheer in danger. Setup trying to dance away around, but Shadow is so damn tanky. Golden, but that only buys moments. Buy time. Because look in the mid lane. Care is shoving. And Beitwan will not be able to recall. They're going to end the game with the teleports. Sheer survived. And yes, he killed the Jhin. But he's the only member that dies. And now ThunderTalk will be looking at this game and shaking their heads. It's been messy. 54 kills in 34 minutes. But surely the game ends here. 18 seconds to 1xN. Can Feather buy time? He's going to try. But I think there's just too much damage. There will be too much structural damage, and FunPlus Phoenix will be taking us to a game 3. It was insanity, but it is done. Up my volume and stuff. So basically, here's where we're at. 1xN gone for the Jinx Lulu combo. It's dangerous. It's powerful. Can do a lot of work. If you get to the point where it's valuable. You've got decent front line with the Poppy, with the Scion, even with the Talia to buy some space. That's the idea, but 1xN's getting jumped on. Just about goes down. Ashe Renata does Ashe Renata things. Because the other side of the lane will have the Galio and the Renata coming on in. The only thing I'll say is that TT aren't obligated to actually dive on in. You can play with Jinx and Talia range. And then you're kind of forced to use the Galio very aggressively with the Viego. Hoya, decimating smash, gets a knock-up. I think he still just dies here to the EQ and does. Sorry, W. Alright, quite a new follow the LPL. Could you give some more insights on TT and FPX? Absolutely. So, we're going to have that conversation after this. Because another 2v2 kill. Oh, 1xN and Feather. What on earth has happened? Beitwan's down behind. I don't actually think they killed this, though, because Assume's still absolutely lethal. Oh, what a disaster. I mean, bot lane is over. Tien, who's over, obviously having quite a good time of his own, over on top esports, and, you know, going through this big old roster of very, very talented players. And then basically... Coming over. No, he's not, because of course, as the big damage comes on down. Of course it's not top esports, because of course it's not top. What am I talking about? I'm having a senior moment. Because that's Kanavi. They beat BLG in a best of 5. They go into the upper bracket. We're going, man, ThunderTalk finally turning up. They're doing it without UCal. That's kind of crazy setup. This kind of LCK dropout is looking pretty hot as well. Post a kind of mid-game point, assuming the snowball is a fantastic weavers. We'll split the play. Assume knocked out. Jway. Now, not in a great position, and that just means the Herald goes the way of ThunderTalk. Nice little re-engage from ThunderTalk to get into the pit. Re-entry. Probably it's a better way of doing that one. No cleanse is going to be quite hard. I agree that is going to be tricky. I think a Mikhail's will be a valuable pickup for Feather at some point. Or a redemption. Nice shot back. But as I said, I think compositionally FPX in a very weird spot this time around. Rocket. How's the aim? Oh, got body blocked around the dragon. Oops. Of course, Beitwan back in the day, reminder, was on FunPlus Phoenix. He was on their academy team for years and years. Slightly ironic. It was a pretty solid showing down there in the LDL. Chinese dual ownership of the regions. Arrow. eaten up by Beitwan. Actually needs to be a bit wary here. Gets healed. Throws down the steadfast presence. Care gets a taunt, but to what end? Jway Flasher got in for the hostile takeover. Doesn't quite get as much as he was hoping for. And 1xN still free firing with the shields. FPX have to back away. Jway went really aggro there. But a flash heal. Enough to keep Feather alive, and they will claim that turret. Resets need to come on through. As Hoya trying to deal with the Gnar shove. A Hurricane and the Yuntal Wild Arrows into a very short-range team. Get that turret topside finally, but hey, they'll take the dragon and break the soul. You seen Poppy's little really bobby run when she's got phase rush running? It's hilarious. Well, that means Hoya's going to get this tier 1 top. 1xN building towards that Lord Dom's regardless. Jinx is getting scary now. Care around. Is he going to be caught out here? Quite. Shadow also here. Rough idea where the Viego's coming from. Hang on, this is going to be a lot of people coming around. The arrow does land onto the Jinx who gets the Kayle. Turn around, Beitwan's in danger, goes down, there's the jungler dead! Way too deep. Now TT in danger, will just about miss that seismic shove, Shadow has to ult away. Damage still pretty heavy, and they burn quite a lot to get this to happen. Do TT still want the play? They're thinking about it. Jway eats the rocket, stays alive. In the end, it's just a pick that doesn't turn into all that much, but TT, now not in mid lane to defend that turret. Care, spotted out by a good fast start alteration. Setup unravels the earth. We'll be able to defend mid tip. Dragon setup begins. Flash on him! Heroic charge on the Shadow, who ults away, but to how long? He gets knocked up by the decimating flash, goes down to the bailout! In comes the hero's entrance, but it's too late, the jungler's down! Beitwan trading, but look at 1xN! He's free firing, it's so damn excited! Jway cannot find a hostile takeover in time. 1xN is too quick to the punch. Shut back on the She, who's got a Mega Gnar, but nowhere to run. Flashes to the other side of the Atakan. But he's a dead dino. Zap just shy, but Setup will find the seismic shove back. Unraveled Earth is there. There's no way to hop. And Sheer is brought down. 1xN. What a glorious Jinx team fight. Shadow died. This Jinx has to die, man. The 2 Cloud Dragons behind just getting excited. Wall forces the Zoom off. Shadow has to ult away and does so. But now we've hit this point for FPX where how the hell do you kill the front line in a decent timeline? And then how do you kill the Jinx behind it? This comp required. Pulling away, looking for the fight. Handshake onto Hoya. I say Jinx doesn't need a bit Guardian, just go straight BT. Yeah, well, you've got a Lulu behind you. I think BT is very valuable here, I agree. And the shield helps prevent the burst. Uh-oh, goes stunning forward. Beitwan very deep against the 3-man keeper's verdict knockup. They'll get Shadow knocked down. He's surely going to bail out into nothing. Hoya finally falls, but Assume has to flash away. Setup when looking. Sheer desperately tries to hop away, but it's across the unraveled Earth. Rocket not quite enough for the Weaver's Wall coming down. Gets taunted off, but the damage is still done. Flash on forward for Setup. Gets another threaded volley. And FPX crumble in a phenomenal team fight. 8,000 damage done by 1xN. That's an inhibitor at the very least. Can they look to end it here? They might, you know. Care is in fact the only wave clear. He's got a Zhonya's and a Dream. He's gonna try and clear this wave. It's got to try it. Baseline shoves him into the wall. Gets pulled back towards the minions. Goes golden. But to what end? The minions just about surviving. Tries to clear them out. Does so. 15 seconds on Assume. I think they just get to walk at it. Jinx with 4 items will destroy everything in her path. She has a minigun and a Dream. And Shadow is turned into a bunny rabbit by the polymorph. And TT will pull the rabbit out of the hat and find alongside.